All right, so we're looking at our first thing today, which is order of operations. So the goal for this is by the end of the video, you should be able to quickly work out a problem using order of operations. So let's start with what is order of operations. Okay, we have grouping symbols. That is the first step in order of operations. Any grouping symbols are parentheses, brackets, braces, absolute value bars, radical signs, fraction line. Okay, these are all grouping symbols. Then we've got evaluate your exponents. From there, we do multiplication or division, and this is always from left to right. And finally, we do addition subtraction, and again, left to right. All right, so looking at this first example here. All right, I'm going to start with my grouping symbols. So I do have a set of parentheses, and I'm going to work those out. So first thing in here is I'm going to do the 3 times 2. So I get 4 plus 6. Now that's still enclosed in the parentheses squared, and I still have the minus 8 divided by 2. Okay. Now, I still haven't gotten rid of my parentheses or simplified my parentheses. So I need to work on that. So 4 plus 6 is 10. Still have the square minus 8 divided by 2. Okay. Now from here, I've taken care of the grouping symbols because there's nothing left to simplify inside my parentheses. It's a single number. So now I need to do my exponents. I do have an exponent. 10 squared gives me 100. I still have minus 8 divided by 2. Now I need to do multiplication or division. I do have division, so I'm going to do the 8 divided by 2 first. So I get 100 minus, well, 8 divided by 2 is 4. So now all I have is 100 minus 4, which gives me 96. Okay. So order of operations. As we move through these fairly quickly, you guys will be able to start doing some steps at the same time. All right, so let's look at the second one. I've got 80 divided by 2 minus 4 minus 1 cubed over 2 divided by 2. All right, so let's look at this. Remember, a fraction is a grouping symbol, so I'm going to work the top and the bottom separate. So let's start with the top of our, back up. Starting with the top of our fraction, okay? I'm going to work that parentheses first, so I get 80 divided by 2 minus 4 minus 1, which gives me 3 cubed. Okay, so we've taken care of that, simplified that part. Now I'm going to go ahead and simplify the bottom as well here. And that gives me 1. Okay, now moving to the next step. I still have some stuff up top, right? So I'm going to take care of that 3 cubed. So I get 80 divided by 2 minus, well, 3 cubed is 27. Okay, and that's still over 1. All right, I'm going to shift up over here. So now I've got to do 80 divided by 2, which is 40, minus 27 over 1. Okay, 40 minus 27 gives me 13 over 1. And 13 over the 1 is the same thing as saying 13. So there's my final answer. Remember to make sure you're writing these in your notes. All right, so let's look at this here. I've got a problem already worked out, but there's an error here. So we're going to pause and not really pay attention to that. Let's just look at the initial problem. Okay, I've got 10 plus 2 times 12 minus 3. So first step to do is do the grouping symbols. So 12 minus 3 would come first. So I get 10 plus 2 times, well, 12 minus 3 is 9. Then I can do 2 times 9, which is 18. So I get 10 plus 18. And then 10 plus 18 is 28. Okay, so comparing ours to the one before, where is their error? We notice this step right here looks different, right, between ours and theirs. So here, their mistake was that they added 10 plus 2 together before they multiplied. Okay, we cannot add if there is multiplication. All right, one final example. So I've got 19 plus 26 minus 11 times 3 minus 4 squared. So we're still going to do grouping symbols first. So 26 minus 11, which gives us 15. So I get 19 plus 15 times, now I'm going to use parentheses now for times, just because that's what we are going to use pretty much through the rest of algebra. Then I have minus 4 squared. All right, I'm going to work the exponent out next, which is 4 squared. Okay, that gives me 16. 15 times 3, and I'm going to go ahead and work that out at this time just to save us a few steps. Is 45, and I still have the 19. So I end up in this step with 19 plus 45 minus 16. I've gotten taken care of all the multiplication. So I can do that. So now I'm going to work from left to right. So 19 plus 45 gives me 64. Minus 16 gives me 48. All right, and that is order of operations.